My name is Maciej Grzegorczyk, and I'm attorney at law and a tax advisor. And here during that presentation, I'd like to show you what is the current stage of crypto law and what will happen in the future. I'd like also to compare these two stages. There will not be a full text of legal acts or something like that. I'd like to show you some numbers as well as my predictions, because this future of crypto law, it's gonna be quite hard, seriously, especially for small crypto companies. So first thing, numbers of VASP, CASP. What is VASP? VASP is Virtual Asset Service Provider. I assume some of you are even this Virtual Asset Service Provider. Currently, Poland has its own trashy register. Seriously, it's called a junk register, because the only thing you need to do is to put just a statement that you deal with cryptocurrency as a company, and you need to pay 600 Polish zloty. So that was super easy to get into such register, and some companies even pose to be legitimate, while, as I said before, it took only 15 minutes to enter to such register. All over Europe, we had such registry, like in Lithuania, Italy, Spain, etc. But you see, there were a lower number of such entities because there were also higher requirements for such virtual asset service provider. And what is happening now, while this MiCA regulation coming in force, and this future is totally different. It is much harder to get such authorization, because right now you need to send application for authorization due to MiCA. And how do you think? How much effort it takes to get such authorization? Imagine that procedures, full packages of documents is something like 500,000 of pages, with full amount of procedures, with AML, TFR rules, with even describing how to get access to your platform, how you need to show exactly what user can do on your platforms. And my prediction is that 99% of the current companies, they will not get this authorization. I'm not telling you that if you come to me, my law office has the best package of documents, something like that. No, it doesn't work like that. Seriously, every application should be made individually. It should be made directly to your company with describing your structure, how you exactly works. Because if you deal with just drafts of documents, you won't get that authorization. I'm also after the meeting with Polish Supervisory Authority, and they said that before getting any authorization in Poland, they'd like to meet with a board of members. In different countries all over Europe, it happens the same. So they like to know who is in charge of such companies. So to get CASP license under the MiCA as a crypto asset service provider, you need to take a lot of effort to prepare a proper documents, that are not theoretically working in your company. They need to be exactly enforced. You should have a compliance officer, etc. Someone who really checks, is it safe to deal with crypto? Taxes, something what is really important for individual investors, especially for individual investors. So for now, there are no requirements to report a transaction to tax authorities, and in Poland, as well as in other jurisdictions in Europe, the number of audits is just in the several during the year. Seriously, you shouldn't be worried about these audits and what will happen in the future. So, first of all, DAC 8 directive. Currently, we've got DAC 7, but it's completely out of crypto market. DAC 8 directive, it will be needed that crypto companies, these CASP companies, they need to submit information to tax authorities about every single transaction of yours that is above 1,000 euro. So right now, there are no such regulations, but in the future, there will be such regulation. When? In the next 3 or 4 years, not before that. So MiCA and TFR, these two regulations, doesn't change anything in reporting of transaction, but in the future, this directive, it will be changed. So queries about specific taxpayer addresses on the blockchain. In the last year, we had first audits about blockchain, seriously, because in the past it was just quite easy. What were your costs, what were your profits, almost every document were approved. But right now, sometimes we get questions from tax auditors. They ask about specific address on blockchain, on Etherscan, and they just ask a question, is it your address? And taxpayers are quite surprised. I was also surprised, but this is what happened right now, and it will get tougher and tougher to be hidden that tax authorities will not know about your addresses. I predict also that in the future, to sell crypto on a CASP, in a CASP company, you will need to submit your address firstly to some kind of a whitelist. Of course, it will not be needed if you'd like to do some OTC transaction, but for CASP transaction, it will probably be needed. There are still some countries with a tax exemption, but in this tax exemption, tax exemption that you don't need to pay taxes while selling your crypto. But in every country in European Union, there are requirements to use that tax exemption. Personally, I prefer and I recommend to my client to use some jurisdiction out of Europe where there is no capital gain. So you don't deal with some interpretation, you don't need to worry if you can use that tax exemption or not. Stable coins, right now, some biggest popular are USDT and USDC. And in the future, this future comes right now, seriously. There are already some new stable coins, but I also put here this USDT because USDT is still legal. Seriously, I know that big exchanges delist USDT, and I don't want to try to defend USDT. I mean, they are legal. This USDT is legal because in MiCA it is only forbidden to make a public offer of stable coins and do a listing. So if you are just a crypto exchange with two persons, like you're sending me fiduciary money and I'm sending you USDT, then it is legal. It is forbidden to do a listing with stable coins. And that's the reason why right now big exchanges delist USDT as well as all different stable coins. Staking, there's also some big changes. There are also some big changes due to MiCA. Staking is not clearly forbidden in MiCA. There is implicit ban on ARTs and EMTs. So EMTs are stable coins. You cannot give interest to stable coins. So if you stake stable coins, you cannot get any interest. So you know how it works. It's not clearly forbidden, but in practical way, it is forbidden. ESMA also published a statement of position that seriously, they only replicate the regulation, but they were happy that it's much clearer right now, and this staking system should be closed. I see crypto companies try to build some new mechanism with these stakings, but it will not change anything. In the future, I predict there will be some fines due to that these stakings are still in force, that crypto companies will not put out this staking process. Some politician says this staking ban kills competitiveness of European Union, and I agree with it. Maybe it will change in the future, especially on staking with stable coins. It should definitely be changed. So will it be worthwhile to apply for a MiCA authorization in Poland? Because if you are a crypto company in European Union, you can choose jurisdiction whatever you want and try to get this authorization in Czech Republic or in any other jurisdiction. But what's important? Taxes are important. If you work in Poland, you should have a local tax substance. So even if you set up a company in different country and try to work with it in Poland, then you are compliant with MiCA, but you are not compliant with local tax regulations. What's more, we've got some good crypto tax regulations. I assume you know that in some European countries, transactions between crypto are also a tax event, but in Poland, not. Every transaction between virtual currencies, it is completely neutral. We've got this approved by many interpretations, so that's one of our advantages. Besides that, if you deal with Polish clients, then you should have a Polish bank account. It's much easier to get a Polish bank account with Polish entity. So that's another reason why it may be worthwhile to get this MiCA authorization with Polish jurisdiction. If you need any contact with me, you can find me on a Telegram or on a website or by phone. Thank you very much.